welcome back to my Flosstube number 22. I hope you've been well. So things have been pretty busy around here, getting in the full spring swing. My 10-year-old's about to turn 11 in a week. So it's so much fun around here. Everyone's just growing and getting bigger. My goodness, I have a freshman in college, a junior in high school, and then I have a 5th grader and a 1st grader. If you're new to my Flosstube, thanks for joining. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed. So I do a Flosstube update about every 2 weeks. I usually upload on Mondays and I film on Sundays. And then you just get to hear about what I've been stitching on in the last couple weeks. I started Flosstube about a year ago. March 25th will be my 1-year Flosstube anniversary. We'll have a whip parade about then, so that'll be really fun. I'm a very eclectic stitcher. I used to be more so when I first started my channel because that's when I first discovered Flosstube, and I thought to myself, I have to try every designer out there. So my stash is quite eclectic. I just want to know what everybody's up to. I've been in the indie nail polish community for quite a while now. That's where I started on YouTube. So I have a whole separate channel if you're interested in learning about independent nail polish creators. But I didn't know that there was indie cross-stitch designers. I used to be, for my whole life since I started stitching when I was about 12 or 11, I basically was a monogamous dimensions gold kit kind of stitcher. That's really all I ever did. I think I probably have finished, maybe 10 in, my years of monogamously stitching that. And actually this week I picked up my oldest whip and I worked on it for a few days, which happens to be a Dimensions Gold kit, so you'll see that. But yeah, I just never knew that there was such a thing as indie designers. You can hear my little puppers running around right above me. So once I discovered that, I just felt like I had to try everything. So especially in regards to like my mania that I did last May, I wanted to try a lot of different designers. I tried to pick a different designer for each day. I'm still working through those 22 projects that I started last year. I do have a finish from one of them to share with you today. But yeah, so since then I would say that my tastes are skewing more primitive than they were when I first started just picking up something from everybody. But I do still like cutesy, colorful things as well, like Satsuma Street. I do have one ongoing sal from the Witchy Stitcher. I enjoy Mirabilias. So today I'm going to be sharing with you all the projects that I stitched on in the last 2 weeks, and then I will share with you some stash, and we'll talk about some plans for the next 2 weeks because I always draft myself a project from last year's mania to work on during the next 2 weeks in this video. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. There's your little introduction to me. In case you just joined me recently since I created this channel, originally all my Flosstube videos were over on my Phoebe Moon channel, which is my name. That's my last name, Moon. So really my name is Moon Moon. But so yeah, hopefully that helps you get to know me a little bit better. I'm used to my subscribers on my other channel knowing me very well. We have weekly live videos where we all talk nail polish and swatch and all the things in the community where we all get to know each other really well. So I was just thinking to myself the other day that I haven't really introduced myself very well on this channel. So I hope that you enjoy what you see and you can feel my enjoyment and passion for this craft. I would say I have 4 main driving interests in my life right now. First is family. I love music, second to family, and then I love nail polish. I create nail polish and sell that on my website, but I also love cross stitch. So we're going to go ahead and talk about my WIPS, my works in progress. This is everything that I touched needle to in the last 2 weeks. So let's go ahead and get into that. First thing I'm going to share with you today is my finish. So I was really excited to get this done. This is Blackbird Designs It's Spring Fever. The little booklet looks like this. And this is the first pattern in the For the Birds series, I think. Oh yeah, it's the first one. So I'm going to be on the hunt for the rest of them because I absolutely love this. I think this is my very favorite part. I love that so much. So I stitched this with the called for overdyed flosses. Here they are here. I think that a lot of the loose feathers patterns also use these colors, so I can just kind of keep these kitted up for the next time. I think my favorite floss in here is Loden. I'm all about the overdyed greens, you guys. I'm all about it. So this is stitched on a piece of, I believe, 32 count. I picked up, I think, this pattern, and it had, I was in Shepherd's Bush and I saw the pattern, and then they had these little pieces of fabric pre-cut the size that you would need for this right next to it, and so I just snagged it. This was back before I knew that I didn't really like stitching on 32 count that much, and I should have probably stitched this in a hoop, but I also didn't do that either. I'm kind of stubborn, so I really like stitching in hand so I can do the sewing method, so I just stayed with it. So anyway, I really, really love it. It's my first finish of 2023, and I was really excited that it's a Blackbird. So these actually look like they're all the same color, these two greens that she picked for the vine here. But those are two different colors. And so that means that the Lazy Daisies are also in two different colors because you had to pick the floss that you used for this stem right here to be the floss that you use for your Lazy Daisy. So I thought that was interesting. They really do look just almost exactly the same to me. So anyway, I really, really enjoyed it. So I am hyped to get the next one started. I don't even have it yet, so I need to go search for it, but whenever I get it, I will probably start it because I loved this so much. Now my only conundrum is going to be if I want them all to be the same, I will need to stitch the next ones all on 32 count. So maybe if I just pick, and I don't know what this fabric is because it was just like in a little quick grab section, so I don't know, you know, what fabric to steer clear of basically, but anyway, I love it, and yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say about it. If you see that I've missed anything, let me know so I can go fix that. But yeah. Alright, so that is my first, what was my WIP for probably 9 days out of the last 2 weeks, and then what became a finish. The next WIP I have is also a Blackbird design. On the 4th of every month, I'm going to stitch on this. It is the beautiful Salute to Abigail pattern. I have the booklet here, but I'll put it up on the screen just for ease for me right now. And this is stitched on a piece of 40 count hand dyed by me. And I am using my own floss conversion. So the flosses are, woo, that's a big long string, are here if you're interested. So it's Weeks, Navy, and Light Khaki. There's only 4 colors you need. So that it made it so easy for me to just make my own conversion. And then I have Gentle Arts, Buckeye Scarlet, and Blue Jay. So those are the flosses that I'm using, and I really love this project. So you will see this come out once a month because I'm only going to be working on it on the 4th. I didn't get a massive amount done, you know, more than I had last time. Mostly I did, I put in the white, I believe. I may have gone down a little bit farther in the red. But you can see because I'm putting it on the screen right now. And I added in all this blue, I think. So anyway, super enjoying it. I'm only spending 1 day a month on this though, so this will be a long-term project till I decide to give it some more time. For my 31st day of the month stitching, I pulled out my Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, and this block is taking me a long time. This will be a very, very long-term project because I do plan to stitch it all on this piece of flax, 40 count flax, and I'm kind of wishing that I had started this on, not kind of, I'm super wishing I'd started this on some overdyed fabric, but I also started this back before I knew that I loved dyeing fabric. So Anyway, this is stitched with the called for DMCs, and it's on, yeah, I said 40 count. That's why it's looking so small and cute. And what did I put in? I think I did maybe the compass, but you can see what I did. I put in these fishes. I put in the mermaid. Did I also do the octopus? I can't remember. And I think I put in the words. I don't know. Anyway, I had a lot of fun. I'll be getting this out on the 13th and the 31st are going to be my spooky days. So you might see this again on the 31st, and I might stitch another Halloween design on the 13th. I think I want to see how much more of that Barbara Anna Halloween witch that I can get. I think it was called Witchy Dreams. I'll put it up on the screen. I want to see how much more of that I can get done. Oh, also on my nails today, by the way, these are 2 new Moonshine Mani polishes. They aren't releasing until, well, this one's new. This blue one, this blue sparkly, is releasing the last Friday of the month, of this month, and this is a comeback. So this is a previously released polish that got drafted to return. And so if you're interested in these, stay tuned. You'll hear, well, you won't hear about that in my next Flosstube, but if you go over and follow my Phoebe Moon channel or join us at the Moonshine Mani Fans Facebook group, you'll learn a lot more about my nail polish. So that is going to be it for Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. In the previous episode, I said I would start one of the Carolyn Manning patterns that I purchased most recently and showed you in the last episode. And I decided to go with Sundown. Here are the called for flosses. Aren't they glorious? Oh my goodness. If you love stitching with bright colors, then you need to check out some Carolyn Manning patterns. And especially if you find a lot of comfort and peace in mandala-esque stitching and pattern design. This is looking really small because I'm stitching this on a 40 count piece of fabric and flare in the colorway Stone, I believe. And so I don't know how many stitches this is because I don't count my stitches, but that fold in the middle there is bothering me. Anyway, I'm really loving it. I'm really loving it. There's a lot of color changes. So, but it's really fun. I love how just like crisp that line is right there, just as it goes from that block, intersecting through this block she's already created. It's so cool. So just a really different kind of, oh, I have a floss back there. Just a really different kind of stitching than pretty much everything else I'm stitching. So I really like that because I like to mix it up so I don't ever get tired of my cross-stitching projects that I have going. So really enjoyed this. All right, on to a pattern that I enjoyed stitching maybe a little bit less than everything else this week, but I'm really wanting to get this done. This is my oldest WIP. This is whatever this pattern is called from Dimension Gold. This one's called Aurora Cabin. So, yeah, I used to monogamously stitch on this, got burnt out, and then when I came back to stitching big time because of Flosstube, I didn't want to stitch on this because I wanted to stitch on everything else. But I really want to get it done, so I pulled it out this week, and we're going to get my oldest WIP finished up here in the next few months. So, also, this Ada is filthy. It's so filthy, so I will need to wash this when I'm done, and it's just like atrocious how filthy it is because it's such an old project. Let me pull out a little bit so we can get more of the pattern in view. So yeah, I'm not really going to put up on the screen where I was last time because you won't really be able to tell any difference. So up here in this corner, I need to find the blending filament that goes with these cool little bits in here. I think I know where it is. But I need to find it so that I can absolutely get every stitch finished. But I'm kind of, when I stitched this originally, I kind of just picked a color and went with it for a while till I got bored of it. These trees are the worst. I hate doing these trees. They're so confetti heavy and just blah. I mean, I do still like Dimensions Gold. It's very sentimental for me, but yeah, I'm just really tired of this pattern, I think, guys. So anyway, what I was doing when I pulled it out for a couple days this week is, you can see that I have a lot missing here, just here, but I went up to the top corner and I looked meticulously for any stitch that was missing, and I just kind of went down like this. And so that's what I was doing this week, so that's why you can't really tell what I did. So I was just trying to find any little spot that was missing a thread. I pretty much made it all the way through here. I'm all the way down through here. There's a few little stitches missing way down here, but it's white and blending filament, so I need to find that. And then I need to find it for right here. But then other than that, I'm pretty good till you get to these trees. There's a few missing in here, and then there's a hanging thread because I was working on a little bit that's missing in here, as you can see. But anyway, so yeah. Next time I pull this out, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to like go from here and go over and just try to get every little bit filled in till here. So then I can start working on this whole mess. But anyway, it's going to be so great when it's done. I'm going to be so happy to have it done because these look amazing when they're finished. They're just intensive, you know, when you're doing it. But I really love the colors in this. I just love Aurora Borealis, and I am really excited to have this on my wall. And now that I live in Utah and I don't have this to look at every day, but I have this to look at a lot of the time. So yeah, it'll be nice. So anyway, that is the next WIP that I did. I have one more. The last project that I stitched on in the last 2 weeks is Memories of the Past from Hands Across the Sea. I just recently purchased another pattern from her, and then thought to myself, well, you really want to start that pattern, but you have an absolutely glorious hats pattern already started, so let's put in some more work on that. So this is a piece of Tea-dyed Zweigart 40 count from my friend Heidi, and she is my stitching buddy. We actually don't really stitch that much in common, but like at the same time or anything, but we kind of update each other every day on what we're stitching and all that good stuff. So she sent me this piece of fabric and I absolutely love it. So here's my progress on Memories of the Past. I will put up on the screen where I was last time so you can see the progress that I made. I think that these little flowers look like little men, so they're funny to me when I stitch them. So I need to put his arms in, but I got these done. I got this all the way over here, this whole bottom alphabet, I think B, C, and D maybe. And then I started another flower, got this flower done. So I'm making my way downtown, you know. So this one, if you want a really colorful, totally not prim sampler to work on, pick this. The other one I have that's super not prim is Mary Morgan's from Fox and Rabbit. That one is a little bit more chaotic in the color choices, I think, because there's so many primary colors all right next to each other. This, you get a lot of colors, but it's somehow a little bit softer. So anyway, really love this. I think I saw this on Blitz Stitch channel. He was stitching this and I was like, oh, look at all that purple. I have to have it. Oh, how silly of me. I left out some right there before I hopped over to this guy, so I'll have to come back over here. I love purple floss. I love purple. So anyway, that is Memories of the Past. Oh, and I'm using Called For DMCs. All right, so that's everything that I was stitching on. I have some stash to share with you. I did purchase some things from a sale. I grabbed a few more MPIs as I'm building up the MPIs for my chatelaine, which I'm loving so much. Actually, I have some beads that I got in for that as well. I didn't end up stitching on chatelaine in this last couple weeks, but I probably will in this next 2 weeks now that I have some more MPIs and beads to work with. So I'm very excited. I used to do those Christmas felt stocking kits, which uses a lot of beads. Every time you go to secure a sequin on, you put a bead on top. Plus there's a bunch of beading on the kits as well anyway. So I'm used to beading for that, but I haven't ever beaded on a cross stitch project before. So that's going to be really fun and I can't wait to try it. And these beads are looking beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and look at these items. Some of them I am more excited to start sooner than later, so let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to share some odds and ends before I get into patterns. So this is my neutral fabric of the month from Be Stitch Me, and this is Hot Cocoa. And, oh, it's actually looking quite green on this side. That's fun. So it's a brown with green going through it. So it's some soft brown and soft green modeling all through. So really love this. This will come in handy for any kind of sampler, so I'll be excited to pick something for this. I ordered the beads and some more MPIs for my chatelaine from, well, this I got from 123 Stitch. I just love MPIs, you guys. I just love them. And the beads I got from Red Panda. She sent a needle. That's nice. Big Eye beading needle. Okay then. Cool. I was just going to do it with my regular needle. So the beads for that chatelaine are so pretty. You know, it's not just like super basic. I only got a tiny amount of these. I don't know why. These are so pretty. So you might see chatelaine come back out in the next couple weeks. Oh, that's pretty. It's like a richer coppery gold. Some clear. Oh, this green. Hallelujah. It looks like my nail, the multi-chrome iridescent of it all. And then these ones are matte. They're matte iridescent. Super cool. So love that. Another bit of stash that I received this last 2 weeks was this pack of floss from Leo and Roxy. I signed up for their monthly floss club for the neutrals, and then I wanted to order one a past month. So I think this is October from 2022. So this one has the colors Newt, which is this lovely beigey tan. And then we have Nimbus, which is this gray with, it's kind of various shades of gray, and then there's some pieces that look kind of dirty. And then you have Bespeckled, which is a cream with little splotches of color in it. And then you have this deeper seafoam, which is Goody Blue Shoes. And nice variegation there. And then lastly, I just love greens. This one's called Pinery. Like finery, but pinery. So really lovely. I can't wait to build up my Roxy Floss collection because everybody uses her floss and loves them. So I was so excited to try and, you know, put some into my patterns, my WIPS, I mean, and give them a go. So, all right. So I have a few digital downloads that I purchased in the last couple weeks that I'm going to share with you. I purchased this beautiful pattern from 1884 Stitchery. One floss tube that's really dangerous for me to watch is Rachel from Needle and Flax. And so I purchased this lovely, which she showed on her floss tube. She was showing some stash. And so I don't have any immediate plans to stitch this, but it's really, really beautiful, and I couldn't help myself. So that's Ann Perry, 1884 Stitchery. There's so much good stuff on that website. The other thing that I found from watching Rachel's video was she suggested a website of a shop that's closing. I'll put it on the screen here. And she already has some 50% discounted items, a lot of them actually. And then you can use the coupon code closing to get an additional 25% off. So I definitely recommend that, and I partook, and you will see that whenever it arrives. So the other digital download that I have for you is this one here, and this I got at the Creative Poppy website. This is a Barbara Anna pattern, and this is a stitch along, or not a stitch along, but it's like a group of patterns or group of designs that you would stitch together. And I saw this on a floss tube. I'm going to try to find it. Or not a floss tube. I saw it on the Sarcy Girl Instagram. Here's her design, and I will put it up on the screen larger for you so you can see. So on the original design, it looks like you're supposed to stitch it on 5 different pieces of fabric, but she did it all in the same one, and I love it so much. And I only, for right now, purchased the top 2 designs, and I think I'm going to flip-flop their order. I don't think I want Halloween at the very top, because then every time I look at this, it's going to make me think that it's a Halloween pattern. It also kind of looks like she did her own color conversion, so I will have to look and see. Oh, it says she did do a lot of color changes. But anyway, really, really love it. It's so cute. I love everything Barbara does, so I didn't want to purchase all of them right now because I know I'm not going to like sit down and whip this up tomorrow, but I'm going to hold on to this picture from Sarcy Girl. Definitely go give her a follow and use it for some color inspiration because I really, really love it. All right, now for a stack of paper patterns. So I got the newest Mirabilia. I think I saw this on Heidi Stitching Phase channel, maybe. And this is Nightingale from Mirabilia, and I just love how the back of her dress looks like Delft china. And, you know, celebrating Florence Nightingale is not a bad thing. So really, really love that. I don't have any immediate plans to start this because I already have a current Mirabilia, but I just love it so much. So I got this at 123 Stitch. I think I have them in order. I'll share all the stuff I got at 123 right now. Clara Hansen from Hello from Liz Matthews. This is just darling, and I will use this as a heritage sampler at some point. I love those swans. I love the leaves. I love it all. I won't be stitching it in blue. I'll be stitching it in some shade of red. But then you also, you know, you could do this down here. And then there's also here. So it's really, really sweet. I saw this on somebody else's channel. This is Redbird Sampler by With Thy Needle and Thread, reproduced by Brenda Gervais. And it says circa mid-1840s. And it's just so bright and beautiful and fun. So I pretty much love everything from With Thy Needle and Thread as well. And I thought to myself, she does enough stuff that's like prim, but then she also has some quirky stuff that if I only ever could stitch from one designer ever again, I feel like she would give me enough variety that I would be happy with that. Speaking of With Thy Needle and Thread, I also snagged this one. It's a little washed out. It's not just the fact that there's a little bit of a glare, but this is In Season. It has a beautiful sentiment on it. It's really sweet. All right, I think all the rest of this stuff, next stuff I got from Sassy Jacks. I either got an email or I saw on somebody's Instagram or something that they were having a sale. And so I went and snagged some things. So this is a Sweeter Love from Plum Street Samplers. Really, really sweet. I love this one. Then I picked up, I'm kind of a Plum Street sampler collector. So I picked up the Bounty Sampler. This is Babushka's Bees. The new Teresa Kogut patterns, I've also received those since our last Flosstube, but you've probably seen them, so I won't need to show you, but she also has a bee theme. This is a new constellation. Wow, there's so much going on in here, and it's so beautiful. I love these flowers. Then I picked up this from Heartstring Samplery, a plant of rapid growth. Just really, really, really cute. Oh, and I have almost zero patriotic stitching. That's why I picked that Blackbird start. She also sent me this complimentary piece from the Marianne Frayne pattern. You know what? I remember now. I was just searching for this pattern after seeing it in somebody's WIP parade or Kit Up parade. It might have been Trixie Tricycles. And this is Elizabeth Weston. It always reminds me of Emma. Mrs. Weston. Mrs. Weston. Anyway, it has so many beautiful bright pinks in there. My goodness. So, like I said, I got this. I don't plan to start this right now, though, because I have the other hat sampler on the go. And this is also huge. Lengthwise, it's in the 4 somethings. It's like 3 something by 4 something. So, I need to grab myself a fat half, dye it. But look how cute. And then these 2 trees, one has the red buds and then one has just white. There's red and white and then just white. The moths are different. I love that it's different. It's not just mirror. Anyway, so when I was searching for this pattern online, I found that Sassy Jacks was having a sale, so then I also shopped a bunch of stuff there. The last items in my stash to share with you today are the bird patterns that I said I picked up at the Top Knot Stitchery bird sale. So I now have all of the Cottage Gardening A Year in the Woods. So here's the bald eagle. And then we have the barn owl. Then we have, this one wasn't on sale because it's not a bird, but I just decided to grab it anyway. The brown bat, little brown bat. And I saw this on Hannah's channel, and she's finishing these up. And also, Yaz just finished this as well. There are a couple of the channels that I will remember to mention at the very end of this video, so stay tuned for all the channels I think you should go check out today. So that's my finishes, my WIPS, and my haul. Next, I want to talk with you about my plans for the next 2 weeks. So if you aren't new to my channel, you'll know that I don't really like to plan out what I'm going to stitch on too much. I really like to just feel what my soul is pulling me towards that day. And because this hobby, this craft, this love is fueled by the fact that it brings me so much peace and solace, giving myself like a chore or expectation over what I'm going to stitch and if I'm going to get something done in a certain time, it kind of defeats the point. So I don't really like to focus on that too much. I just kind of like to feel what feels good to me. However, I do really like randomness and surprises, which is why I always draw a random project from my last year's Mania as one of the things that I'm going to stitch on in the next couple weeks. So we'll draw that here in just a second, but this video is going up on the 13th. So the day I'm going to make this live, I will be stitching on something spooky, Halloween pattern. So you'll definitely see a little bit of Halloween stitching from me. And then we'll also have the 25th of the month before my next Flosstube. And I totally forgot on January 25th to stitch something Christmassy because that was Tim's birthday. And so I wasn't really thinking about that, but I remembered it for this month. So I will definitely have some Christmas stitching to share with you before next Flosstube as well. So there'll be those 2 things. And then I will probably be sharing with you some more chatelaine progress because I just love that so much. And I didn't end up working on my heirloom sampler for my Grandma Leona in this last 2 weeks, so I should put a little progress in on that. And then my random project that we're going to pick right now. And I usually do end up starting one project about every 2 weeks, so you'll probably see a fresh start from me as well. So that gives you kind of a clue about what we're going to look at next time, but let's go ahead and pick that random project. All right, as we always do, we're going to choose a random project for me to work on in the next 2 weeks. Here is my list. We no longer can do number 1 because I just finished that. Yay! All right, so we're going to change my final number here. Okay, so here's my randomizer. Number 5, patchwork. Yay, look it. I haven't stitched on this at all since Mania, so that is super exciting. And this is a pattern, I put it on the screen right now. This is one that I've been wondering if I'm actually still interested in stitching right now because my tastes have changed a little bit. And that pattern is really, really cutesy, which there's nothing wrong with cutesy. I'm just going to stitch on it this week and decide if I still like it. For example, Flag of Stars, when I drew this, when I was stitching on it, I decided I didn't like it anymore. So that's what happens sometimes. So that's really exciting that we drew this, and I can't wait to get going on it. All right, so that's always so exciting to me to to be able to kind of pull the random item. And this last 2 weeks, I was very excited to feel like I had a manageable project that I could get done in those 2 weeks. I would say out of those 14 days, probably 9 of them I spent on that project. I really did spend a lot of time on it. I thought that it was going to be less stitch heavy than it was, but I really, really enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like about it was the 32 count. It's not my fave. I've learned I like a smaller count, a tighter weave, but I had purchased that pattern and started that on the first day of Mania, which was just shortly after I picked up stitching again and found all the different linens and all the different designers and all the different flosses and all that stuff. So I didn't know back then what my preference was, and that's fine with me. It's kind of fun to pull out a project that I started a year ago and be like, oh yeah, this is what I was interested in last year. And if I don't totally dislike something from a year ago, I'm happy to stitch on it some more, even if it's not my preferred stitch count or things like that. So all right, so that's basically it. That's plans. That's what we go over every time. I always forget this every single week. I wanted to share with you some Flosstubers that I've been watching. So yay, I'm really glad I didn't forget. All right, so I did just watch the mill tour. This isn't really Flosstube, but the mill tour from Antique Needleworkers. I actually only got about halfway through the video on my last little stretch of time that I had to watch something while I was busy with my hands on something else, and that video just kind of blew my mind, and I only made my way through half of it. If you watch it, you'll see what I'm talking about. So it was just like, woo! I felt like I was on a different planet, but very, very cool. So anyway, I will definitely be finishing that video. So some Flosstubers that I checked out their videos lately that I don't think I've mentioned on here before. I have been watching Hannah Dowling. She is really fun. She stitches, I think she is just finishing up the whole Year in the Woods series, and that's really exciting to see. She does fast work too. She's just like pumping those out, and she has some pretty ladies. She likes really fun, beautiful fabric, like colorful fabric. So if you're into that, I definitely recommend. Let's see, I have also been watching The Calculated Stitcher. I watched her Whip Parade parts 1 and 2 that she put up in January, and so I need to go back and watch some more of her backlog because I really enjoyed that. I don't remember if I mentioned the Sweetwater Stitcher last week, but I've been enjoying her channel as well. The New Hampshire Stitcher, her Whip Parade was glorious. I really, really enjoyed that and subscribed. A lot of these ladies, I discovered their channel thanks to Sarah's Stitchy Spot, so I just thought that was wonderful. I love when members of this community shout each other out so that we can go find more beautiful stitching to watch and follow. If you have any favorite Instagram accounts that you think that I should know about, link those down below as well, because I definitely want to go check those out. And all the information I'm talking about will be in the description bar below as well. I've been watching Yasmin's Made with Love, another channel that I found thanks to Sarah. Gorgeous stitcher, and she designs her own patterns, and she's a marathon runner, so in some of her videos you get a little bit of a peek into that world, which I find very, very interesting. My son Lincoln, he's on the autism spectrum, and he gets a hold of my phone and will watch a whole bunch of random videos, and so my history feed is really filled up with a lot of the things he's interested in as well. It's actually pretty cute for me as I'm browsing through my history to see what I watched, to check out all of the toy videos and car videos that he watched and things. My son is 16, and he has such sweet, innocent interests. So let's see. I think the last new to me channel that I haven't mentioned on here before is Trixie Tricycle. Somehow I hadn't ever watched her videos before, but my friend Heidi linked to me her recent Whip Parade, and I loved it, so you have to go watch it. You probably already have. And then as a business owner, I found it very interesting also to watch her update on her linen dyeing company, and that was just really, really interesting as well. So, you know, if that sounds like some fun to you, I will link all this stuff in the description bar below. So I think that's going to be it. I should always remember to put those channel recommendations at the beginning of the video, but I'm just thinking about my WIPS and stuff that I want to share with you guys, and I forget, but I never want to forget to talk about other Flosstubers because they fill me with so much joy, so much enjoyment, and I want to share that with you guys. Thank you for stopping by for this video today. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a fantastic one, and whatever you're going to do with the rest of this week, I wish you happiness and peace, safety. I will see you back for another one very soon. Take care until then.